Welcome to this explainer. Today, we're diving into a really profound, completely transformative concept from Eastern philosophy. It's the art of setting determination, or establishing your true aspiration. You know, ancient wisdom actually gives us a highly practical blueprint for elevating our lives totally above that mundane wash, rinse, repeat cycle of everyday existence. So if you've ever felt like you're literally just going through the motions, well, this is your structured, philosophical way out of that loop.
I want you to try doing a quick mental audit of your typical week. How many days are you just staying at home, craving a little quiet or comfort? And then, how many days are you running around outside, completely caught up in the endless motion of work and obligations? When we step back and really look at this endless cycle of staying in and going out, we have to ask ourselves, is this routine actually providing ultimate fulfillment, or are we just kind of spinning our wheels here?
To help us break out of that cycle, here's our roadmap for today. First, we'll look at the secular world. Second, defining true determination. Third, the 5 levels of humanity. Fourth, building your foundation. And finally, crafting your destiny. Let's get right into it.
Section 1, the secular world, and existing above the mundane.
So, the scholar Wang Shanggu brilliantly illustrates a concept known as white era cultivation. Now, historically, spiritual pursuit meant completely abandoning the world to go live in a monastery somewhere. But the true path today, it's about living directly in the secular world. You keep your household, your job, your family. You basically operate as an ordinary person on the outside. But your mind is operating entirely above those secular attachments. It's like being a monk without a shaved head. You're walking through everyday reality, but you are completely clear and awakened on the inside.
Moving on to Section 2, defining true determination and establishing our ultimate goal.
The absolute core of this solution lies in the concept of zishang, which translates to determination or aspiration. If we break down the etymology, Z is way more than just a simple desire. It actually denotes the specific mind and intent of a wise sage, and Shang simply means direction. So setting your determination isn't about, hitting your career goals or financial targets. No, it's the active steering of your entire life's direction using the exact mental framework of an enlightened sage. It's a total game changer.
Which brings us to Section 3, the 5 levels of humanity and the stages of human progression.
Philosophers outline 5 hierarchical levels of humanity, and it's basically a ladder. Down at the base, we have the ordinary person, who's driven mostly by basic survival and everyday desires. Through education, you step up and become an intellectual. By really refining your morals, you ascend to a gentleman. Deepening your understanding of universal truth forms a philosopher. But the absolute, undeniable pinnacle of human potential, that's the holy sage. Setting your determination, your zhishang, is the literal vehicle that drives you up these steps.
Section 4, building your foundation and setting an unshakable base.
There's this piece of ancient wisdom that perfectly captures this principle. Think of a small bird. On its own, it probably couldn't cross an ocean, right? But if it flies in the wake of a powerful swan, it can travel incredibly far. It's the exact same for us. An ordinary person follows an enlightened sage to achieve high virtue. By aligning your personal determination with the teachings of the saints and sages who came before us, you establish a permanent, unshakable foundation. You aren't just out there guessing the way, you are flying in a proven slipstream.
And the difference in how this plays out is really stark. An ordinary person kind of lacks focus. They set their determination constantly, meaning they change their minds all the time. They decide to be highly spiritual on Monday, chase massive wealth by Friday, and then they're looking for inner peace on Sunday. Their foundation is essentially built on sand. A gentleman, however, they lock in a long-term, unwavering aspiration. Once their sights are set on truth and virtue, there's no turning back. They do not deviate. And that profound focus is exactly what we need to cultivate.
Finally, Section 5, crafting your destiny and the ultimate outcome of our choices.
Without this higher determination, we just default to the ordinary life, studying, working, eating, sleeping, and eventually dying. When you strip it all down, it's ultimately pretty empty. But contrast that with the life of a sage or a Buddha. They seek the ultimate truth, they share it, and they awaken others. Even though they inhabit the exact same physical world that we do, their existence yields an eternal legacy, one that completely outlasts their physical form. This ultimate fruit of awakening is beautifully represented by the lotus flower. Unlike that empty, cyclical routine we talked about earlier, following the path of truth yields profound spiritual fruits. You see, the lotus grows perfectly clean, right out of the muddy waters. It is literally the ultimate symbol of that white era cultivation. It means living directly inside the messy, mundane world, yet blossoming completely pure and unaffected by it. To truly grasp the gravity of all this, we have to look at the words of the great philosopher Zhangzi. Because this isn't just about self-improvement anymore, it's about a cosmic destiny. He states, we must set our minds for heaven and earth. We must establish the destiny for the masses of humanity. We must carry forward the lost teachings of past sages. And we must establish peace for 10,000 generations. This is the absolute highest frequency of Zhisheng, a determination that literally echoes through eternity.
But reaching that kind of destiny requires taking action right now, in the present moment. According to the texts, there are 4 distinct ways people react to spiritual opportunities. The wise person actively creates opportunities to cultivate their spirit. The knowledgeable person might see an opportunity, but they use it selfishly for worldly wealth and status. Then you have the lazy person, who just passively waits, hoping an opportunity will magically fall into their lap. And sadly, the foolish person actively abandons spiritual opportunities and instead just creates negative karma.
So the crucial question we're left with is this. Which of these 4 paths are you going to embody? The distinction between an empty, wash, rinse, repeat routine and an eternal legacy is laid out right in front of us. Are you going to keep setting fleeting, temporary goals, or will you lock in the unwavering determination of a sage? The opportunity to elevate your life entirely above the mundane is right here. So, which path will you choose to craft your eternal destiny?